I'm Beth with 50 Plus Beauty, and I'm excited that you're here with me today to see this new fall face. I created this look with the Makeup Revolution's Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade Palette. However, if you have the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, you can do that as well. I use these palettes interchangeably. I think the shadows in both palettes are just fabulous. Now, if you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll subscribe and click that little bell. It doesn't cost anything. All that does is it notifies you of my future videos. I'm 59 years old and I do makeup and skincare for us 50 plus beauties. Now let me take off this makeup and we'll get started creating this great fall look. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. And again, we're going to be using the Makeup Revolutions palette, which is called the Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade, and we'll be going in with this set of colors here, which is kind of the fallish colors. And if you do have the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, which I will link below, it is exactly the same because this is a dupe for the Kat Von D. I really like both of the palettes. I don't have a problem with this less expensive dupe as I think the shadows work just as well. Let's start on the lid by going in with this little peachy shade right here. It's a very, very pretty color. Just go ahead and pat that on the lid. And I do have my Milani Eye Shadow Primer on the lids, which I think really helps the colors adhere better. Now let's go in on the crease with this little orangey color right here. It's kind of a burgundy rustish color. I don't think rustish is a word. But we're going to go in and go a little bit higher than the natural crease there, because as we ladies tend to get more grown up, we tend to get more hooded lids, and the crease area falls a little bit. We want to bring those eyes back up again. There we go. Do the other side. And again, just a little higher than that natural crease. Very good. And to lift the eye, let's bring the outside up just a tad. I'm going to bring that up just a little bit. Tap off that brush. Do this too. Come up just a little bit. And again, get in over those fat pads, those lovely little gifts of becoming over 50. Extra little fat pads where we don't want them. And don't worry, we'll be blending that out. Now let's go in with this darkest brown color, and we're going to take that a little bit into the outer V and also kind of redo that crease just a little bit. Just highlight that crease. We're going to go ahead and make a little line right here because we're getting the outside of the outer V. And then we're going to do like a 7, working out that way. Kind of straight up there, just a little bit. I'm going to bring that down over the fat pad. Do the other side with that darkest brown. And I'm using my little Sephora shader. It's a little mini shader, Pro Shader it's called. It's number 18. I'll put the brushes down in the links below. I find that it really helps to have a little defined brush to do this crease. Bring it down a little bit over the fat pad. I think we'll bring that brown a little bit more onto the outer third. Kind of just pat that on right there. Could be a little bit lighter than the original line. There we are so far. Now I'm going to take a little more of that peach color right here, and we're going to use this wonderful little e.l.f. shader brush to kind of blend out the upper part of that line. Kind of blend it there. Very delicately. You can see it makes that brown a little less strident. If that's a word for eyeshadow, I'm not sure if eyeshadow is strident. Now I'm going to take a totally clean brush. This is my MAC 217, and I'm just going to kind of do a little circular motion there and blend that out a little better. Other side, just kind of soften it up. Got to kind of even out the two eyes, a little difficult sometimes. Now let's go ahead and put some color on the brow bone, and I'm going to leave this quadrant here, and I'm going to come down here to this lighter color here, this whitish color. Just going to go ahead and blend that underneath the brow bone. Other side. Now we're going to bring it in on the inner corner of the eyes, just to kind of lighten that up. We get a little sunken in here as we get a little more grown up. So we've got to bring that out. That little bit of white brings that darkness out, more even looking. I especially like these shadows because they're all matte, and as you know, I'm having a love affair with matte. The more lizardy my eyelids get, the more I love those mattes. Now let's take a little bit of that lightest color over here that we did the brow with, and just kind of go in a little bit on the inner corner of the eyelid. Give a little more definition to that eyelid, make it look a little more convex, I guess. Kind of an engineering term for an eyelid. Now I think I'll go back in with a little of the peach, just to make sure. Now we've got the color on the upper lids. Now let's go underneath the lower lash line and we'll do a little bit of brown underneath. Maybe we'll do a little bit of this darkest brown just in that outer corner. Connect it with the transition line. Okay, before we decide on any more brown under the lashes, let's go in and do a little bit of brown eyeliner and see where we end up. Now we're going to go in with this L'Oreal Voluminous in brown, and it's good for the waterlines, the lower waterline. And I think brown is very nice and soft for daytime. You could go in with black at night, obviously, but I'm getting made up for the day, so I'd like to be a little less wild. There's that lower lash line. Now I'm going to waterline the top of the lashes. That waterlining just makes the lashes look a little darker, a little more full. Man, little mistake there. I'll get my trusty Q-tip to take care of that mistake. Yay, Q-tips. Now I'll just go in with a little bit of liner on top of those lashes. Wing it out just a little bit at the end. Little wing never hurt. Just make sure to get it very close to your lashes. No gaps, because they will show. This is a very nice, easy to use eyeliner. Now we'll go in and line the other eye. Get it very close to the lashes, again. Little wing at the end. Eyeliner's done. Now to soften that liner just a little bit, I'm going to go in with this dark brown and just kind of drag that brush gently along the top of that, just to smudge it out a little bit. Makes that a little bit lighter, a little bit less harsh. Even though this is a brown pencil liner, it is rather strong looking. Okay. Now, of course, I'm a drama girl, so I have to take this a little bit further. So I'm going to take a little bit of this eyeliner and bring it just on the outer edge of the bottom. Just make those lashes look a little thicker there. This also kind of joins the eyeliner to the top. Happy eyes. Now, let's add a little bit more brown down there, and let's go down here to this lightest brown color. We don't want to be too harsh. We can take that over the brown liner to soften it up. Make it a little smoky down there. Okay. Now I'm going to do my mascara off camera because it's a little boring, but I'm going to be using this Lancome Hypnostrama, and this was about number 2 in my mascara wars. Very good mascara. Okay, that's that Lancome Hypnostrama mascara done. Now I'm going to go in and do some under eye concealer. I decided to do that last, just in case I got any fallout. And I also think that it kind of helps with these darker shadows to bring a little bit of the concealer up beside it to give a little lightness there. And I'm using this Tarte Shape Tape, which I use this a lot. Here we go. And I'm using my Sigma concealer brush to blend, which I really love this brush. And I will put the link down below. There we go. Now I'm going to be setting that with a little bit of this It Bye Bye Pores. I've shaken it into the lid there. I'll go in with my Real Techniques Imitation Squirrel bristle brush, which I don't know why that's important, but they seem to be proud of that fact that it's imitation squirrel. I'm certainly glad it's not real squirrel. That would be kind of gross. I like squirrels. You know, my father-in-law, he traps them in his backyard and he takes them away out in the country and lets them go there. They tend to eat his cushions on his patio, but my squirrels have never been mean like that, so I love my squirrels. Now let's go in with a little blush, and I'm going to be using this Maybelline Fit Me blush in Nude, and I really like this color. There we go. Just pat that on. You don't really have to worry too much about Maybelline blushes being too pigmented. With the Tartes, you really do. You have to be very careful. But that is the one good thing about lower end shadows and blushes, is that you don't have to be quite so careful because they're designed for the masses. And if they went on like a higher end, really strong blush, people wouldn't like them. And sometimes I like just the ability to build it. Very pretty, fallish kind of color, the Nude. Next, I'm going to go in with a little bit of bronzer used as contour underneath the cheeks. I'm always a little challenged in terms of contour, so we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to be using a blush brush, which I will hold like this. And I'm going to go in with that lightest middle color. And this is the Physicians Formula bronzer kit, and it's matte, which I really like the matte. And I like that middle color because it is not so dark that I'll end up wearing a Hershey bar, which is something I do a lot, ladies, those of you who have seen my channel. And the key is to blend, blend, blend. And I had a viewer tell me that, and that is so true. Blend, blend, blend. I think that looks pretty good. Now I'll go in under the chin. And the key there is to stay under your chin. Bring it down a little bit on your neck, like you have a shadow because you have such a perfect chin. Now we'll go a little bit in the upper hairline. Soften that square forehead I've got going. Now I'm going to go in with that light highlighter color and just go in the Frankenstein divots. Bring those out a little bit. Go down my nose. A little bit on the Cupid's bow. Give those voluptuous lips. Now I'll take that also below the eyes. Brighten those up. Survey the damage. I think it looks good. Now I'm going to be using a little extra highlighter on my cheeks, and I'll be using this Clinique Chubby Stick, which can be a little bit dangerous, so we'll just kind of do a little bit on the cheek, on the apple, kind of pull that out. Oh good, we have fall apples. Now let's go back in with the It Bye Bye Pores powder all over the face to null out that shine, which I really can get shiny because I still have oily skin after all these years. I'll take my It powder brush, maybe null out a little bit of that shine. Whew, it's powdery. Brush that all out. Now let's go in with a little fall looking lipstick, and I'm going to be using this Laura Geller lip pencil in Spice. Okay. Go a little bit outside the natural lip line. Cross the Cupid's bow. Fill it in just a little bit. That is a nice fall color. Now we're going to be going in with the Bare Minerals liquid lipstick in the color Boss. It's really very close to that Laura Geller Spice lip pencil. Well, ladies, that is our fall face. and I'm really kind of excited about it. I'm not used to doing faces depending upon the seasons, but this is kind of fun. Now, if you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll subscribe and click that little bell so you'll be notified of my future videos. Now, I always like to leave you with a little thought for the day, and I've been going to this card deck, The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beatty. Okay, let's see what God in the universe has in store for us today. Ooh, that's a good one. Practicing gratitude. Practicing gratitude. Wow, I love this one, practicing gratitude. I am all for this, ladies, because I think the things that we need in our life, we need to practice them on a daily basis. They don't just happen. Today, I will practice gratitude. I will get in the habit of saying thank you, even for my problems in my life, because these challenges are valuable lessons I can learn from. Gratitude is the key that turns problems into blessings and the unexpected into gifts. Oh my, that is a fabulous, fabulous card there. And ladies, that is something that I did not know in my first half. I would have certain problems and I would get all bent out of shape and worried about it and see them as totally negative. But in my second half, in part due to this magical experience I had finding this book in a rental house that we purchased, I mean, it was an amazing thing, and I will tell you that story in the future, but I learned that God does not give bad gifts, and even seeming problems in our life, if we look at them with gratitude and be thankful for them, they will turn around and God will show them how that supposedly problem situation is really for our good. So ladies, let's actively practice gratitude today, because when we do that day after day, we turn our problems into assets and we have a fabulous second half. Take care. See you next time.